General Keane, thank you so much for your time. Why this review of the AUKUS deal? What is the concern? Is it purely about having enough submarines left for America, or is it also connected a little bit with our refusal to agree to American demands to lift our defence spending to 3.5% quickly, 3.5% of GDP?
Yeah, I think that's the real basis for it. I mean, we know for a fact we don't have anywhere near all the submarines that we would like to have, and it's the submarines that where we have the advantage. Our United States and our allies over China itself, they have a decisive advantage in surface ships, in offensive and defensive missiles, and also the number of airplanes that they have every day in the region. Submarines is something we want more of. But I see it, Andrew, as a real strategic plus to have U.S. submarines under an Australian flag operating in the Indo-Pacific region, so much closer to mainland China. And I think it's a step in the right direction in forming the potential for a collective defense. And I think the anchor point for that are four countries: the United States, Australia, South Korea, and Japan, and then possibly adding others like the Philippines. So listen, we'll take a look at the review and see what they have to say. But from my point of view, this is a plus for the region. The plan as is AUKUS, and it brings Britain into it as well, and likely other Europeans would follow.
I would absolutely agree with that analysis, except for this, General. What if the feeling grew in America that a submarine under Australian control is not necessarily a submarine that will come to America's aid, right? And particularly if you're getting a rather bolshy government here that says, well, you know, I don't know if we're really on the same page as America on a lot of stuff, you might consider that a submarine in Australian hands is much less reliable than one in American hands when it comes to defending American interests.
Well, I think if we have those kind of concerns, let's put it on the table with the Australians and let's clear it up one way or the other. It would seem to me that that's what we should do. I don't have those concerns, frankly, but if we have officials in the government that do, and I understand administrations change in countries and so do policies. I mean, look what the policy changes we've gone through in the United States as a result of administration change. I mean, they're quite dramatic. And if we have to, get something in writing or verify that, well, let's do it. I think the primary issue is the number of submarines. The United States knows we don't have enough. It takes us too long to build them, and we've got to get it right. And this was a step, in my view, as I said again, in the right direction.
There's now trouble everywhere, General. The US has suddenly evacuated non-essential staff from its embassy in Iraq. Now, this is after talks between the US and Iran about restricting Iran's attempts to build nuclear weapons. They've reportedly broken down. The president met with his team on Iran some days ago. And then Iran warned that it could target US bases in the region if this did lead to a confrontation. How likely is that?
I know that the President of the United States feels very frustrated by the talks with the Iranians, and he is of the mind that the Iranians have taken a hard course on this, and I certainly agree with it. In my mind, the Ayatollah, the supreme leader of Iran, is never going to voluntarily dismember his nuclear enterprise. That's not going to happen. His negotiators are willing to probably make some concessions, and they want to still hold some enrichment, et cetera. Take the enrichment down from 60+% all the way down, maybe less than 3%, maybe even accept enrichment from other countries. But they're not going to dismember their nuclear enterprise, and that is the key issue here. So I think what we're moving towards, much closer to the likelihood of an air attack, probably by Israel and hopefully supported by the United States. A couple of indicators. The United States President and Prime Minister of Israel had a conversation on Monday. no one really knows, other than those who were on that conversation, what the content is. The United States' entire national security team went out to Camp David, which is a summer vacation or weekend home for the president to get away from Washington, D.C. It's unusual for that to happen. And now we see Secretary Hegseth has ordered the removal of all non-essential people, military dependents, from our bases in the area. And also the Secretary of State is reducing our personnel in Iraq, in Bahrain, and in Kuwait embassies. All three of those entertain military U.S. bases in those countries. So it's likely that we may be moving towards some kind of confrontation as a result of it. These seem to be signs that we would take prudent signs to protect people's lives in the event that there's going to be a confrontation.
Well, you have warned about this for some time. I think the tempo has just upped quite considerably. General Keane, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, take care. Yeah, thank you.